Floor is yours.
Okay, so surprisingly, a lot of people don't know how to jumpstart a car. So 90% of people don't know how. I didn't know that. I thought it was way less. But so basically, to start it, bad things that can happen first. So before I go over the entire thing, the bad things that can happen. It's not easy to mess up, but a lot of people mess it up because they just don't know. You can die from doing it, so that's probably not a good thing. But so you can do that. You can damage a lot of your engine or your car in general. So you can fry up the battery. You can damage the alternator, melt the cables. I've seen a few videos where people do it wrong or they do it correct and they keep it on there too long and the cables actually melt. And you can blow fuses. You can blow up the battery, and you can fry the starter up really bad. So those are the bad things that can happen if you do it wrong. So the cable, so the black is a negative, so that's your ground, so it connects to the frame or the chassis and usually the block, and kind of flows I guess electric through the entire car. The red's the positive, so that's with all your lights and stuff like that, so your headlights and all the lights inside the car, and your starter, like I said before, the positive's to your starter, so when I said it blows up, it's usually a bad connection to the start, and it makes the starter spin real fast and then blow up. So, but yeah, that's what I said about the starter. So, how to do it. So, it doesn't really matter what you start, like what cable you connect first, but say if this is the dead battery, this is the live battery. Like I said, it doesn't really matter what you start with, but you can start with positive or negative. So like, make sure it's a good, I guess, grip on it, because if it's not, like I said, bad things can happen and it won't do it properly and you'll think it's right or messed up and realistically it's just ruining everything else in the car, so you don't really want that to happen. And then you put your negatives and then, let me try to get this entangled. But yeah, like I said, make sure it's a good connection to it and that it won't break loose or anything like that. So first, like I said, you connect these, and then that's a safety part. Like I said, make sure it's a good connection, because if it's not, bad things can happen. Start the working car with the charged battery first. So the connection will charge the other battery, the dead battery, and then you start your own car, which is the dead battery, and let it sit for a minute, not too long. Like I said, it could literally melt these cables, but let it sit long enough, about a minute, to where the battery charges a little bit. So that's just, it's real simple how to do it. People mess it up because they don't know how to do it in general. So it's really simple, but I looked up some facts about it. Like I said, 90% of people don't know how to jumpstart a car, and I took a guess before. I thought it was around 50, but it's a lot more. So never jumpstart the car if it has that white powder. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, that white powder on the battery. It's something with copper and something else, but it's really bad, and it can cause a really bad connection and things will break really easily. So make sure to clean that off, and a good way to clean that off is with Coke, like Coca-Cola. If you pour that all over, which it sounds like that's not a good idea, but if you pour that on it and then it kind of just absorbs it, and you wipe it off, it'll get rid of it. So I didn't know that, but it's a good way to get rid of it. But most batteries are recycled and just recharged and refilled. So that's how, most in the store you see, that's what they are. That's the same with every other part. Parts in cars will get broken and people will just send them back and they'll get reassembled and put back on the line, basically, to get sold again. So I looked up a company called Johnson Controls, processes about 8,000 batteries per hour of a day. So that's quite a bit. And if you think about it, really, you can find them about anywhere you go, a car battery, because they're really common. They run out a lot, so yeah. And then, so there's also different ways to jumpstart a car. So over time, this was, this is what people usually do still to this day. But then there's ways like this. So I got this for Christmas, and I keep it always in my car. So, say you're somewhere, it's late at night, and your battery's dead. There's nobody around you. This is actually really good. So and it's really small, so it has a whole bunch of different things. Like you can air up your tire with it, but with what I'm talking about, you can, if you plug it in here, so if you plug it in, it turns on itself. You don't have to charge it that much at all. It goes like 6 to 10, I think 6 to 10 jumps it can do before it actually dies or runs out of battery. I've used this about 3 times and it's still at 85%. And it can handle up to an 8-liter engine, which is huge. If you think about it, most cars are really small. So it can, and it does it really quick as well. But basically it's the same concept as this. You just set it on the engine and plug your positive, your negative. Turn it on and let it run for, I'd say, a minute or so, and it does the same as it would with normal cables to a different battery. So I didn't know anything about this until I got it for Christmas. I didn't even know it was a thing. But it does just about everything. I mean, like I said, you can air up your tires with it and everything. So, but yeah, this is the main way though. I mean, the most common way is the use of normal cables and a battery. Everybody keeps cables in their car usually. But over time, they've got things like this that have made things a lot easier and faster and better, I guess, if you're stranded at night or whatever. So, yeah, and all that's really how you jump start a car.